We read in the books of both Luke and Matthew concerning the birth of Jesus. And I want to draw your attention to something. When Jesus was born, we know that the reasons behind, or should I say the circumstances behind his birth, was that Caesar Augustus had issued a decree that everyone should be registered in the city of his birth. And so therefore Joseph, along with Mary, who was pregnant at the time, had to leave from Nazareth of Galilee and go down to Bethlehem in Judea. That's where Joseph was from. While there, the time came for Mary to give birth to the child, and so Jesus was born. But because of all of the things, notice what we just talked about, because all of the things that were going on in the city at the time, there was not found a suitable place for Jesus to be born. And so therefore, they had to find a place for Mary to give birth to Jesus. And so they found a cave stable. And this is where Jesus was actually born. He was born in a cave that was used as a stable. And that's why we see Jesus being placed in a manger. A manger is an animal trough feeder. It's a feeder that you feed the animals from. So Jesus was literally born in a cave stable and wrapped in cloth and placed in an animal feeder. Okay. This is an indication, in a sense, also of his poverty. But nevertheless, what we also see is this: during that same occasion, we see the angels of the Lord appearing to shepherds who were in the open field, keeping their flock and giving a message that the Messiah, the Savior, was born. And they gave a sign, the sign of what baby would be the Messiah, Savior, would be the baby who they would find wrapped in these clothes, swaddling cloths, and lying in an animal feeder. So the shepherds instinctively knew where to go to start looking, places where you would find stables. And they knew that caves were sometimes used as stables for animals. So when you go to that particular stable to find, looking for the Christ child, you'll be able to see him. You'll be able to know who the Christ child was, because such a one would be wrapped in cloths and lying in an animal feeder. So of course we know that the shepherds went, searched, and found the baby Jesus, as the angels had said they would. And Jesus was found in a cave wrapped in cloths. He was found in a cave wrapped in cloths. Now, what I want to talk about is the sign of Jesus, the sign of his birth. What was God trying to say in all of that? Notice something. When we see Jesus coming into the world, he came into the world in a cave. He came into the world wrapped in cloths. And that was the sign of Jesus. Also notice that when Jesus died, Jesus was buried in a cave. He was also buried in cloths. What's the point? When the shepherds came and saw Jesus being wrapped in cloths, it was an indication that this one, as he came into the world, would leave the world. For to be in a cave and wrapped in cloths is a sign of death, because when people died, those who had the means, they would wrap the dead bodies in cloths and they would bury them in a cave. So the sign that God had given to the shepherds to identify the Messiah was also the sign that God gave to these very shepherds of the purpose of this Messiah. This baby came into the world to die.